gonna get started, guys. All right. So first of all, thanks for joining. Good to see you guys here. Like I said, I didn't want to prepare a lot of material. We're gonna, like address every Sunday some new topics, and just try to build on the knowledge slowly, right? So for today, what I really wanted to share with you guys is, I mean, some of you will see that as a basic concept, but others, might find it, more interesting. But like as we go more into detail, I'm pretty sure all of you guys will like it overall. So as we are addressing forex market, and some people try to compare it to the New York Stock Exchange or the stock market overall, and the major difference between those two is, first of all, the liquidity. There's more liquidity in the forex market, and you don't have to have as much as capital to make, let's say, potentially same returns on your investment, or possibly even much higher through the forex market versus the stock exchange market, right? So another major fact that is like differentiating between those two is that if you're following the stock market, you have to like be very much familiar with like accounting and major financial reports, and you have to be like, if you are really looking to do that as a long term, you have to be familiar with the balance sheet of the companies that you're trying to look to invest to, right? So if you are, let's say, trying to invest in Tesla, right? What you should be doing before just following the news and new possible ideas that they have, or like some new innovations that they're about to release, it's their balance sheet, right? So what exactly on the balance sheet, right? So one major key to the company's existence and long-term operational success is looking how much revenue they have, specifically what percentage of that revenue is actually the cash, right? What is something that they have that like they can work with, right? So the reason for that being is, if you're comparing, few companies in order to decide what could be the best investing opportunity, you should always pick the one that has most cash and least debt, right? Because let's mention Toys R Us as an example. Those who, let's say, follow the stock market, Toys R Us few years ago, they filed for bankruptcy, and the reason that they filed for bankruptcy was, so they had this amazing idea that they wanted to like renovate all of their stores to make them look like really nice and fancy, and put out the new toy collections in the stores, expand more. But the way that they financed that was not with their capital and their revenue, right? So they went ahead and they took a huge loan from the bank, right? And all that was nice, and it was looking all good. But the reason that they ended up filing for the bankruptcy was because the returns that they expected, and profits that they were hoping to get based on that investment, they didn't quite work out, right? So when the debt was due, meaning their loans that they had to pay back to the bank, they were not able to do that because they didn't had enough of cash revenue, or let's say operating income, that they had to take care of. They haven't had enough left on the side to sustain the agreement to the bank and pay off that debt and loan that they took upon to try to invest, right? So that is something that like you should use as example if you are person trying to invest in the stock market. um, and pick the company that has least debt and that has a lot of liquid assets, that especially the cash, because that means that they will be able to sustain even through the times of crisis. And even if they launch new products, new service, try to do all the innovation, like for example, Tesla is constantly working on. Even if that doesn't go well, they will be able to sustain. And that's why you see the major companies always being able to bounce back, right? So unlike those few things that you should look for when you're investing in the shares of certain companies, um, forex market doesn't require as much as fundamental research. uh, and why is that? It's because you have like hundreds of companies compared to the forex, where you have only 8 major economies that you really need to watch closely, right? Obviously, that is the United States, because we have US dollar, Eurozone, which we have euro. And when I say Eurozone, that means you should, be paying attention to the reports coming out of the Germany, France, Italy, and Spain, right? Then we have Japan with the JPY, also known as a safe haven, because they don't have major fluctuations in their interest rates, right? So it's a pretty stable currency to be investing in over the long period of time. Then we have United Kingdom, which is our GBP, Great British Pound. Then we have Switzerland, which with the initials or abbreviation of CHF. Then we have Canada, um, CAD or CAD, Australia for our AUD pairs, and New Zealand for our NZD pairs, right? So these economies are pretty much they make up the forex exchange market, right? We do have some others like ZAR, South African. We have I believe it's CNI abbreviation for Chinese currency, and so on. But those 8 are the major ones, and they are the ones that are most liquid, and we're pretty much over 95% people are investing in those pairs, right? So what about those economies is really important to watch out for, right? Um, so for example, if you're a swing trader, right, you really should be watching for the interest rates coming out of those countries, right? Because let's say you're investing in, let's say, NZD against USD, right? So what you are doing, um, you are you're putting your money that like NZD economy will perform better than USD over the time, right? Depending how long you are looking to hold that trade. So where the interest rate comes in a play, right? So let's say when you buy NZD USD, the interest rate for NZD is at 2%, and let's say USD interest rate is 1%, right? So you are also hoping that throughout the term of your swing trade, and you holding the buy, you are hoping that the NZD economy will expand more, and that they will actually raise or increase their interest rate, right? Let's say when you bought it, it was 2%, but it goes to 4%, right? So that means it's increase of 200 basis points, right? So it's very beneficial that like the pair that you are trying to hold, also throughout that period of time has an increase or appreciation of their interest rate in that economy, because that it will prevent you from having a lot of fees or for and being charged a lot for holding that trade, right? On the other side, if the currency that you pick to buy against other currency, and that economy has to decrease interest rate, or the currency results in depreciation, it can erase all of your trade gains that you've been carrying, over the time. Not all, but let's say most of it, right? So it's very important, like, to watch those interest rate returns and pairs like that, right? So I just wanted somebody's drawing. So I just wanted to address that, like the difference between stock and forex, and what you should be, paying attention to the forex as far as like fundamentals. Another thing, the three major reports or that can have like a fundamental impact on the market. It's obviously GDP, or gross domestic uh, product, and then CPI, and the third one was, hold on, GDP, CPI, and interest rate decision, obviously we just mentioned. So those are the three major reports that can cause high fluctuation in that specific currency, right? So those are like the really ones when you should like look for, know when they are coming out, when the report is going to be, especially prior to making the trading decision, right? If let's say a report is coming out within next 20 minutes and you haven't had a chance to really like do research or read up on it, and you really can't, predict what the outcome will be, it's probably best idea to just wait another 20 minutes for that report to comes out, and then make a decision after you see the impact of that. So that's really like one major topic I wanted to address, and just see if you guys like we're familiar with fundamentals. How much more would you like me like to go into them? Do you want me to like prepare like a detailed session on fundamentals, or like whatever the feedback you guys give, that's what I would like to go off of. Or if anything that I have mentioned, you would like me to like go more into detail or repeat it, I'll be glad to do that before we go ahead and start going through some charts and see what opportunities we have for the upcoming week. So you can either type in the chat or unmute yourself and speak up. No questions?
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Hans, I have a question.
Yes.
In regards to the important stock reports, you just said the Forex reports, but I was wondering if you could repeat the important stock reports.
Yeah, so about the stocks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the stock market, I mentioned that like you guys should try to become more familiar with the balance sheet and try to look for any financial reports that the company you're trying to invest to or you're following is publishing or showing. Like all that is like a public information, and it should be found actually on their website, right? Beside the financial reports, it's important to know when is the what is the date of their earnings reports, right? Obviously, as you have in forex, like forecasted, like the let's say financial experts, they try to predict what would be next interest rate for US dollar, right? Same way, the earnings per share report has its own, let's say, anticipation. And if earnings report on the day of its release and announcement is higher than expected, then obviously that's really good for that company, and it will definitely attract some buyers and therefore drive the price of their stock. But the quarterly, every company is required to provide updates on their financial reports, balance sheet, and just so you have idea when they do that, and just watch what is the difference in it. Are they having increase in the revenue? Are they paying off their debt? Or they took another loan for whatever project it might be, and so on.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do we have any other questions? Okay, no questions. All right, so let's go through our weekly overview. Where would you guys like to start? You have any pairs you want to take a look at first? Drop it in the chat, speak up. Or you just want me to go in my order? All right, GU and GJ. Okay, let's see. What did I had? I had something drawn here already. We actually had a gap there, the opening. All right, well, let's start on the higher time frame. As we can clearly see, GBP USD, it's in an uptrend, right? If you would like to draw the daily trend line, there it is. It got tested, going off of the 4-hour. We have our current trading zone between 1.32175 and 1.33206, right? Or let's just round it up to 200. So as we see, GU had this impulsive move back to the upside. It got rejected at the daily resistance and supply zone, and we started having some correction, right? So if you measure the entire move, to favor the bulls, we have had rejection right here at 61.8. So based of this measurement of the impulsive move and the retracement, we can expect GU to head higher and most likely make this equal high here, right? And test this resistance one more time, right? This supply zone. Based on the momentum and the volatility in this next push, we can see if this next push will result in a break, or we will get equal highs and we drop from there, right? So this can happen as well. On the other side, another bearish scenario that can happen as well is if we get a break below 1.32175 and we get the retest, then we can head lower back to 1.30100, So those are the two possible outcomes that we can see on GU. My personal bias is I would like to see it go back and make that equal high just to test that key zone, especially after this rejection at the trend line and this intraday support. So there's definitely more confirmation for the pair to go higher than it will be for us to be sell bias, right? Does that look like something you were looking at, Daryl?
Yeah, I was looking at that bounce that you were exactly talking about. I was expecting it to go up and retest that supply zone and then come back down.
Yeah, that really looks like what should be scenario. Looking at it right now, but would I buy it just now? No, I would probably buy it once it breaks above 1.33200 and then it retests, because you still have 120 pips to grab. But it's always better to wait for confirmation.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anthony wants to take a look at GJ. Here we go. All right. So GJ has been respecting this zone right here. Start on the daily. So clearly, GJ has also, let's see, in a really good recovery from all the falls and all Brexit deals. I'm honestly expecting GJ to rise as well as GU, but unlike GU, I'm expecting GJ to continue rising higher, right? I do want to see this wick get filled right here, or at least 50% of it. So let's say we can add a line, let's say about right there. So my longer term projection or swing that I'm looking forward to get into towards 1.4, let's make it 147 just to round it up. But when to do that, right? So if we go back on an hourly and see what's been happening on the intraday, I also gapped down on opening today. So I would like to see GJ come back into this zone, maybe shows us some retest, form support here again via few candlesticks, and then shows us some bullish momentum to take it higher, right? Let's say the safe buy would be if we get break above 141,800, and then we can aim for the TP1 at 143,350. Let's round it up so it's easier. So that would be the TP1 for this trade idea, and obviously longer term would be 147. As you see here, we just like had a break into the zone and immediate reversal. So that's why I'm hoping that the next push up will result in, you know, some stronger support level at that area, and then we can take it higher. Also looking at the downside potential here, zoom out. I'm not favoring, actually, yeah, let's make it there. I'm not favoring any sells until I see break below 139,800, right? Personally, I think all this will be just trap area, even if it falls down. But as you see on the Friday, we had this attempt from the bears to take it down, but then it got rejected, resulting in this bullish pin bar here, right? It's a candlestick formation, one of the stronger ones that, you know, could be indication of this support actually holding and possibly recovering back to the upside. So like I said, I have bullish bias on this pair as well. Not really interested in selling it until it breaks 139,800. And some of you probably looking at like, well, if you sell it down to that area, it's 90 pips. Yeah, it's 90 pips, but like the way the GBP JPY moves, like that can be easily caught when you get more confirmation rather than just taking 50-50 chance here. If anything, it would have to start pushing below 140,600, and then maybe that can be potential trade for, let's say, London session to test that, and maybe from there we'll see move like that. But I'm not leaning towards this move. I'm rather seeing this come back up and close into this zone and area again, so that we can you know, form some case for our bullish move. So next we have so Anthony, do you have any questions? Sorry, before we move on to next one about GJ. Okay, awesome. All right. So next we have Euro AUD and NZD CHF. Okay. So Euro AUD and NZD CHF. Okay. So actually have this markup still here. I think Seth asked about Euro AUD. So personally, I still would like to buy it lower. Let's say, as you see here, like I was watching it last week, but it didn't quite push to our daily demand zone, right? It was slightly above it, but like I said, I didn't want to pull the trigger, and I still don't want to buy it, right? And the reason being is because see this rejection at 50 fibs, right? So I would favor to see this move into either daily or weekly demand zone, which will be much better area to buy from. It is obviously, you know, let's say it's 110 pips wide zone, but like that's where you can see wild moves back to the upside, as you've seen here. It rejected, it moved, let's say moved 267 pips before coming back down to make this double bottom, and then from here it moved 486 pips, right? What happened when we tested this zone again? It moved 435 pips, right? So that's essentially what I would look for on this pair, and I'm really going to be patient and wait for it to hopefully come back down, so that you know, we can get a really nice buy entry. In other outcome, if it comes back and breaks above this zone at 1.63800, then yeah, I would probably buy then too, back to this weekly level. So that is what I see on Euro AUD. Did you have a different view set, or you have any question about it? Okay, well, you're very welcome. All right, so next we have NZD CHF. Let's see if I have it on the watch list. No, okay. There we go. All right, well, there we go. Fresh pair that we need to chart again because I haven't traded this in a while. Okay. So we need to mark our weekly zones. Let's see here. 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, I like that. Put this on the bottom and let's see what daily zones we have. Right? It's important. Pretty much this weekly is same as the daily. Let's see. Actually, this is valid level. All right, and now we can check it on the 4-hour. Yeah. All right, so NZD CHF, we do have to add here intraday zone because it's not extremely volatile pair, and it definitely would help. So break, false breakout, break retest, retest. Okay, yep, definitely valid zone. All right, so NZD CHF, you said you were looking to buy it. Honestly, one, two. This structure on 4-hour could have been concluded, right? Meaning we had 3 pushes with the 2 corrections, right? The corrections were minor because the impulse was really strong, but we could get, let's say, where is that? We can get correction like this, right? Before going higher, right? We can get something like this to tap into this zone right here. And this is what I would rather favor before buying it just now. Another reason where fibs is if you look at this move, no, not that one, right here. Let's zoom in. right? Uh, this, wait, did I really just reverse it? Oh Lord, there we go. If you look at this measurement, this perfectly rejected 61.8, right? And this 4-hour candle is also showing some strong volume. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, so I wouldn't suggest buying it just now. Let's clean this so it's easier to see. I honestly believe this will come down, probably test 0.60950 before any buys. Potentially can tap lower into this zone, and from where we can see people being interested to make another run to the upside, but at a better price, at a discounted entry. So honestly, I personally, the way I trade, I wouldn't be looking to buy just now unless you see some momentum. If it breaks 0.61500 and you see good momentum in this pair, then yeah, you can buy it. You can do something like this. Let's say from here and then target there, stop loss just below that previous low, and then you can target this daily level. But it would have to be buy stop because we would have to see something like this and maybe some pullback and then continuation to the upside. But from where it's at right now, I'm not favoring the buy. Oh, okay, awesome. You're welcome, brother. You are welcome. Okay, so we do have a question from Mayank. Said, hey Anis, how should I shortlist some exclusive FX pairs since there are so many? I'm planning to choose about 5 to 6 which I can monitor, follow, and trade. What would be your recommendations? So great question. I don't know if you were on the webinar the other day, but okay, so let me actually open this up. So if you take a look at here, right, this drop down menu, you see here I have red list, I have green list, right? Usually, so those are the folders and lists that you can create by clicking here, create list on Trading View once you log in into your account. So usually I red list the pairs that haven't had a really nice structure or are, let's say, in the middle of the zone, or like they just not near like a good entry point, or like I just don't see like anything that like catches my eye for any possible trade idea within those pairs that I red list them, right? The green list ones, those are the pairs that I mark as close as possible to be actually the new trade idea or a new pairs that I'm willing to invest to, right? So I'm gonna get to your point. But one thing that I do, the pairs that I trade, I create those baskets, right? You see, I have here Euro basket, I have GBP basket, and I have USD basket. So the reason I have those three, my main is Euro and GBP, right? So I trade like the main pairs that I trade, and the reason I trade them, it's their volatility, right? I don't have to, like, even if I enter the swing trade after like day or two, I know if I'm going to stick with that trade. And I know that like for the most part, like 90% of the time, it's not going to consolidate for like 5 days. So and the reason being, again, the volatility in those pairs. So from the Euro pairs, I mainly trade Euro JPY, Euro NZD, and Euro AUD. They have great volatility, they have a great structure, and they are just really good to trade. From GBP, I mainly trade GBP JPY, GBP AUD, and GBP NZD, right? So those three from GBP basket, and then the USD, obviously gold, probably my most traded pair. Besides gold, I like, let's say, I would say GU is my second USD pair, and depending on the structure on USD CAD, USD CHF, and USD JPY, I would, probably consider those as well. But they are not so volatile as the one that I mentioned, and hence the reason I trade them. So for you, if you just, let's say, starting off and still not seeing consistent profits, and just consistency in the analysis and outcome of the trades, I would probably suggest try with the slower moving pairs, such as NZD CAD, NZD CHF, let's say AUD CAD, AUD CHF. So those pairs are, pretty good to trade for the most part, but they are not crazy in volatility. So they are a good starting point to just practice your analysis on. And the difference between the very liquid pairs, like the ones I trade, and the ones that I'm suggesting to start off, is also the stop loss that you have to have for both. For like GBP, JPY, you have to have at least 40 pip stop loss. Again, because it moves so much, it needs more room for the trade to develop, as compared to, let's say, NZD CHF, where you can have like sometimes 15 pip stop loss, at the most 25, right? Because if it's not going to work out, like it's gonna have a clean breakout, rather than some random spikes and stuff like that. So that's what I would suggest, Mayank. We have question from Anthony. What broker do you have? So I have LMFX. That's my main broker. They have headquarters in Macedonia. It's the country in southeastern Europe. Pretty happy with them. Haven't had any issues. Actually, I have my main account with them, and then I have Hugo's Way that I'm still actively using as well. But I use Hugo's Way mainly for, let's say, indices. If I trade cryptos, and I also have a news account with them, meaning I have account that it's set aside, and if I'm going to trade the news, like I either leave certain balance in it, or I dedicate how much I'm willing to risk on the news trade, and I just put that in that account, and try to multiply and grow it. Got it. We'll start off with easygoing pairs and try to understand. Yes, honestly, that would be the best to do, because once you become comfortable, analyzing and understanding how they work, how uh, the structure is, and what actually is something that you're looking for to make your trading decisions, and you get that right on the slowing moving pairs, then you can try moving on to the ones that are a little bit more liquid. But like if you are trying to just focus on few and do it live, but you are still trying to improve and get better, like I would suggest going with the slower ones, because um, that way like your losses will be smaller, because you won't need to have like 40-50 pip stop loss. You said you see binary options. What are the slower ones again? Oh, so the slower ones are NZD CAD, CAD CHF, AUD CAD, AUD NZD, AUD CHF. So pretty much a combination between AUD, NZD, and CHF. That's like wait, did I? That's what I would say it's the best to go off of. You're welcome. Let me see other questions. So make sure I didn't miss anything. Mm. Yeah, I was thinking about getting one, because I had one, and ever since I had him, I wasn't able to get a new dog. So I might be actually. Oh, actually, yeah, I did miss one more question from Mayank. He says, I see binary options in your bookmark and want to know what they really are. So actually, this was something I was going to get into. I have, known this guy. I think he goes by Ness, but I think his name was Ness Vasquez or something like that. I have him in contacts. He's really amazing binary option trading. So pretty much the binary options work similar as options trading in stocks, but in binary options, you are, uh, let's say, investing in a given asset, and you are trying to make a prediction, if the asset will go like a higher or lower than a certain point in a fixed amount of time, right? So pretty much same like stocks options, but I think instead you're just betting on some different assets. So I'm not very like experienced with binaries. I never did them, but I saved it. I wanted to at some point try to learn that as well. It's pretty much just try to expand more knowledge as far as uh, financials and investing. So that's why you see that bookmark here. Okay, we'll do, brother. I'll keep you guys updated. Um, and honestly, I like pit bulls. Like that's I mean I like a few different types, but yeah. Depend. Like I don't want to turn this into the dog webinar, but like just real quick, I think there's also a lot of misconception on pit bulls, and especially here in US. Like if you are renting, most of the property management companies that you are renting from, are not allowing pit bulls, and it's because they look at them as you know as like a fight dogs, right? But like in in reality, like there's unfortunately been a lot of people that have been arrested by FBI because they have been having, let's say, a ranch or a big property where they illegally, breed pit bulls, and then they in such a cruel way, um, try to train them and put them in a cage to fight each other, just so that they can, make up bets, um, and take them to those, dog fights, and just bet money and make money off of them that way. So therefore, it's their aggression, because they've been really victimized, and it just pisses me off. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're really amazing. I mean, it's like, any dog that, like, that's why it's best to get it as early as possible, so that you can raise it the way you would like. We do have a question from David. Uh, are your indices trades primarily scalps, intraday swing, or a combination of all, depending on what the market is showing at a particular time? That's a great question. So I usually try to, if I'm investing, I try to intraday trade it, right? Meaning throughout the New York session. So let's look at one. We have US 30 here. Okay. Mr. David asked this question. So here's how I look at it, right? So this breakout, I didn't cut it, full transparency. There's no, and we have recordings of this session where we unfortunately missed this because we initially thought that this was going to test 28,700, but it resulted dropping 1,200 points, right? So I'm looking essentially for the breakouts like this to try to cash them, right? And here we tested 28,150. It rejected, but it only gave us the retrace to attract more sellers into the market. So I still personally see further fall in, I mean, we're looking at US 30. I'm still expecting further fall to maybe between 27,400 and 27,600. Let's just say, looking for that middle number at 27,500. And I think this area will be very attractive for the buyers and longer term players. And so if let's say we were, in the New York session, and we see, the US 30 fall down to this zone, and then we see some rejection, and we see, let's say, some bullish momentum, like, I would probably enter this, for the duration of the New York session. But like, swing trading is, with the indices, the way I do it is, like, I like to see for a new trends, like, as you've seen, like, on the daily time frame, if we zoom out, like, they've been just breaking highs continuously, and that was like the indication to, remain in the buys and try to hold it as high as it could go. Well, the highest was 29 1 194, and before we had this correction, and a lot of people are like, oh wow, what happened here? Well, it's been in an uptrend and trending for days, so it was just a matter of time when the correction was going to happen. And it happened, Thursday, before NFP, and then during the NFP it also showed further correction. But yeah, so mainly intraday, and if let's say we enter by here and then it keeps going, giving small pullbacks, then you trail your stop loss in the profit. So that from intraday, it can turn into swing, right? So it really depends on the market condition and what is it presented. Anthony, I don't, just because I would address them on the live sessions, but the reason I haven't been giving them in the premium is because a lot of people, when I used to even give them out for free, like my trade ideas for indices, people have had struggle with using proper risk management, right? I tell everybody you shouldn't be trading indices if you have less than 2,500 in your account. Now, can you trade with less than that? Can you trade with 500? Yeah, you can. But what um, if you enter and you have to, you know, hold 500 pips drawdown, which is nothing on indices, like that's normal, and then you end up just blowing your entire account. So you always want to have, you know, some room, and especially with indices, you have to take into consideration that if you enter, you might experience, you know, a few hundred pips drawdown before going higher, and before actually, you know, trade starts going your way. So that's possibility, because like, you know, just because you're in a drawdown, that doesn't mean that the setup is invalid, and that the price won't recover and go back up. So it's more from like a safety reasons, that decision. I mean, if that is the feedback, I can definitely share, you know, trade ideas for indices. I mean, I'm down for it. But like, you know, I'll just have to like include, you know, the warning that it's not suggested, you know, if person doesn't have a certain amount if they're in their account, because it, you know, it can, especially if you over leverage, can be pretty ugly. And that's great. That's great. So it's good that you have a good trading psychology and you follow your plan no matter what. So that's already a win. You know, that's already a win. Because if you are trading, I mean, you are risking 35% of your account, like I seen some. Well, that's not good, you know, because market just have this unwritten rule, that like he always like humbles you. It really does. Like you might win 4 or 5 trades in a row, and then you're like, oh man, like I'm on the roll. Let me, you know, go crazy with the lot size. And then once you do that, like you ended up returning all the profits back to the market. Jonathan, I thought the indices were closed till Tuesday. Pretty cool they open. Well, I mean, they open, but like, how should I say? It's pretty much going to be dead, right? Um, unless there's some tweets or some stuff like, as far as, let's say, someone higher up in the government, you know, doing some announcement, or writing some statement publicly. I don't think we will see any, you know, significant move until Tuesday. So yeah, I'm personally not looking to trade it until at least Tuesday, New York. Let's see, did gold had the gap? I didn't check. It's not 10. I didn't. Here, I actually, Keith, I actually posted the video earlier about it. My Video about fibs. What is your Telegram name? Like, what is your Telegram username? Because I'm gonna tag you.
It's Keith for Trader.
Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're here. Yeah. Okay, so I just tagged you in it. It's in the price action alerts chat. That's a fib video, but like if you don't want to watch the whole thing, here we go. Fibs right here, and you can take a screenshot. That's all of them. So all the levels and all the numbers with the blue check mark is all the ones that I use and are shown on my fibs. So essentially, some people use 0 to 100, and then they use also fib extensions. I have them both combined onto the same setting, and if you would like to, you can watch the video and I show exactly how I use them in uptrend and downtrend, and from where to where I measure retracements and corrections. Oh, you're welcome, brother. I love them. I really do. It really helps a lot. And slowly as we going and building the training, like we'll get to the point where we will discuss harmonic patterns and Elliott wave, which is advanced way of trading, and without mastering fibs or knowing them really well, like it's gonna look like rocket science. Yeah, because all the harmonic patterns and all Elliott wave predictions are based off of the fib levels, not just randomly drawn on the chart. So yeah, and obviously you can color code them whatever is easiest and most appealing to you. I have it this way. It's just easier for me. And yeah. So let's see if I missed any question. No, I think I have them all. Do you guys have any other question, or would you like to go see any other pair? Obviously, tomorrow evening I'm going to do like weekly outlook, and I'm going to record it and post the video. I personally, let's say, I cannot say always, but like 90% of the times, I would wait for before entering the trade, probably like Monday, beginning of Asian or throughout the Asian session, just because I like to see how first daily candle closes on the pairs. We didn't, Jonathan. Yeah, let's look at this. Right. Well, we cannot do that on 15. Okay, so I essentially was hoping that this zone right here will hold at 11,500, and that this will head back up higher. Okay, that's disappeared. It did somewhat pierce through that structure, but it's holding. It has found some sort of support around 11,400. Could it go lower? It could. It could definitely head lower, but I can't really tell you right now until I see what the Tuesday New York session does and how it opens. Because I believe it will pick the direction as soon as this, the session opens, and I don't think it will have, consolidation. I think we will see what it wants to do. So I'm personally favoring, maybe, slighter drop to maybe cover those wicks here, or about 50%, because we do have form of support on the left hand side, and I think it would be nicer to see, some buys from this level back up. So that's what I would like to see, and what my personal bias is. Oh, Mary wants to see, I believe that's GER 30 or DAX index. Mary, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the right chart for? Oh, okay, cool. Ooh, this is full of gaps. Oh, all right. Let's see. Well, clearly heavy option like every other indices at the moment. Let's see. Well, it broke through that. So the next key level is here. Let me just see on the daily. Angel, we just covered GG on the beginning. We are looking for the swing buy opportunity. Let's see. So this level seems to be holding really well. So wow, there's some massive gaps. It's crazy. So this is something I wouldn't probably trade, like the gaps on it, but it serves as good indication. So I personally think that this level would hold. So you might get a slight tap into this zone, like something like that. But I think it can definitely have a rally from this area here. Let's say around, well, anywhere between 12,640 and 12,750, or let's do 740. So it's 100-point difference. So it could pull back a little bit more. But like I think this zone here will hold, and we'll get some move back up from here. But if the bearish momentum continues, then on the downside, let's see, where do we have valid zone? Right there. But if that level doesn't hold, then it can definitely go to 12,550. We have request on Bitcoin. Here we go. Oh, did it break the zone? Well, it's definitely time for me to update this anyway. All right. Okay. Well, Bitcoin fell on dollar strength, same like indices. I'm pretty sure most of the crypto pulled down as well. Honestly, first of all, I rarely trade cryptos. Like as far as the trading, I just look at them as a long-term investment. So I physically hold coins. I have a lot invested in Ripple and Stellar Lumen, and then some alts, right? But like I believe in Stellar Lumen and Ripple um, more than I do believe in Bitcoin, to be frank. Okay, so just looking at this, so we will have to measure this pullback. So honestly, Angel, this looks like it will come down and test 9,500. So I do believe this will, just because it's a next decent zone of the support, and we have a lot of traffic in that area. If you look to the left, plus it tested 61.8 fibs with the rejection. So unless you see some volume picking up above 10,345, I'm pretty sure this will fall further down to 9,500, and then from there we can look for a potential buy case. But I do see this come down some more. Were you looking at the same on Bitcoin, or? Oh, perfect. Yeah, it's looking that it's going to retrace some more down, to be honest. But yeah, we'll go cover GJ one more time because you weren't able to attend or hear. We just had a question from Mayank. Do you think XLM has the? Oh yeah, I definitely think Stellar Lumen. Absolutely. So this is the thing about Stellar Lumen, right? So essentially, when all the cryptos they get accepted as official currency, and they get accepted as official way of you know making a payments, whether it's a bills, purchasing, any and so on and so on. So once they get accepted, the banks will have to either get rid of the regular currencies that we are using right now, in our countries, and just throughout the regions of the world, or they will have to create a new network that actually is what is it planned for. They will have to create the crypto network between the banks, so they can communicate with each other with the cryptos, and that network, once it's supposed to be created, the XLM or Stellar Lumen is the cryptocurrency that is supposed to be essential for bank-to-bank crypto communication. So I don't know if you knew that, Mayank, but hope that helps you a little bit, and just gives you more idea of why I really believe in it. Um, you read about it? Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely believe in it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like it was a lot of hype about crypto, and some people who missed on the uh, you know last rally, they are like discouraged, this and that. But actually, I think all the cryptos will have another major fall, meaning everybody will have another opportunity to really invest some money in it. So, and I would treat that as, let's say, pension fund. If you have a job that is not offering um, you know 401k, or they don't match it, and you just have to be the single contributor to it. I personally look at that as a better investment, because it can yield way more returns in the long run. And I just think that the blockchain technology is very stable, hard to hack. I actually haven't heard any hack cases yet. And it's just very fast transaction, and stuff like that. Like I even tested with my friend, the speed of the transaction. We both have a account on Coinbase, and I was like, let's just try to test how long it will take for you to actually officially receive Ripple from me, and then to confirm that it's added to your account. And it literally took like seconds. So it's not like when you're doing at the moment, let's say, international wire transfer, it can take up to 7 days. But with the Ripple, like all that wait time or processing between would be pretty much gone. So it's kind of like an instant transfer, and as soon as you get the money, you can use it for whatever purpose. Okay, anyway, GJ. So for Angel, so we were looking at the GJ as a swing opportunity to buy this. Um, and for us to get into this, we will wait to see break again above 141, and get some solid form of support here via a few candlesticks. And we would have to observe the bullish volume on a smaller time frame to try to catch this move back to the upside. Um, I would personally like to see a break and some stability in the price above 141 800, to try to hold this like a longer term, with the let's say final TP at 147, which would be just over 500 pips. So that is the swing potential. I am not looking for any sells until and if the price breaks and confirms breakout below 139 800. I think this current movement on GJ is just confusion in the market, and I'm not really sold that we are going to um, that we are going back into the sellers territory. So this could like break like that, and then show confirmation, and then from there we can possibly go higher. So that's what I would like to see on GJ. But can it go down to this level? Yeah, certainly can, because we do have previous support level there with the price. So at the moment, nothing on it. Longer term, bullish bias short term. We have to wait and see what market gives us. Right now, it's probably going to fill this gap, but that's like 15 not 15, hold on, I didn't measure the whole thing. That's about 20 pips, so I don't trade like that, but pretty confident this gap will be covered, if not immediately, within 24 hours. I rather would prefer to see breakout and go from there. Were you looking to sell or buy GJ? Okay, cool. Well, you pretty much have the same idea. It's just not ready for a buy. Let's just say that. In my eyes, it's not ready because it's below this zone, and you want to see it come back above and form support, and shows us confirmation that yeah, we can probably get into that buy. Exactly. Yeah. You see the last week, how was it? Then we had this breakout and it completely reversed. And if you look at the 4 hour, like we had clean breakout, then this bearish candlestick, which is pretty much equal in a size and length, it was, what we were expecting to be a retest, but instead it fell back down, and price made its way slowly to the downside. But it's all good. Now we're just going to observe and wait for the new opportunity on it. Nothing just of yet. And I mean, I honestly just think the market will be really slow. But maybe London. And if anything, maybe like Euro AUD, Euro NZD, GBP AUD, GBP NZD, they might present some opportunities, but that's really like 4 pairs that I could think of. Could have some, let's say, a decent move. But yeah, I think really we are going to see market moving starting Tuesday, New York session. Okay, I think we answered the more question. But yeah, Mayank, as far as the cryptos, before investing in them, I would suggest obviously doing research, like with anything related to investing your money, but just try to see what is their purpose, right? What is their coin created for, right? Are they trying to solve some problem, or it's just created after there was already coin that was made for specific purpose, and they are kind of just trying to be like alternative because they might not think that that coin can just sustain on its own. Something like, let's say, Microsoft and Apple, right? Some people like Windows computers. Some people like MacBook, Macintosh program. So kind of similar concept. But I would say like the ones that are having less competitors and that are having strong and good purpose, in solving some problem, or making something tomorrow easier. For example, like we talked about Stellar Lumen, and we mentioned the Ripple, but Ripple is actually meant to be first choice when it comes to online transactions and e-commerce, just because of the fast processing uh, of the payments, and that sort of a nature. Pretty much, instant transactions rather than waiting for your bank to approve, let's say, funds leaving your checking account, and so on. Yeah, definitely. And just another thing that really helps with when researching the coins and the crypto market is just see on social medias, right? Like all the bigger coins, and let's say the top coins, they have significant community, right? Just see how active those communities are about specific coins, like, and that also helps, right? If you have some coin that, like, it's not really out there, and their founders are not engaged with the publicity, and so on, they really not going to attract any investors. Like, if I have something that I think can solve the problem, but I'm not telling anybody about it, guess what will be sold? Nothing. I just invested so much money, time, and effort to create something that I think can, help, humanity in the future. But I just don't feel like sharing with anybody, so nobody will know about it. So same concept. You're welcome. Like I said, all that information is public. It's free. It just requires some homework to be done. And yeah. All right. Do we have more questions, guys? Any other pair you guys might want to take a look into? And if not, that's completely fine. I just wanted to, you know, um, you know, um, imply that I'm here. If there's anything, I can help answer or give suggestions or share my own, experience about. But if we don't have any more questions, I do want to thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm always excited, even if I see just 2, 3 people that are willing to learn. Is I if anyhow I can help, I'll be happy to and glad to. But we will definitely have live session for New York on Tuesday, when the market should resume to normal with volatility and trading. However, I will be checking in the meantime if there's any opportunities, and gladly share. Like every trade that I send, is obviously the trade that I take myself personally. So you guys are welcome. We do have one more request. We have Euro USD. I'm thinking about the long position. Okay, let's look at Euro USD. Where you at? Oh, here we go. Ooh, I forgot to check this back on Friday. Look where it's at. It's right in. It closed and opened right into the key zone. Oh, all right. So this could be potential back for our longs, but again, it tapped last week into this new trading range, right? It broke and then it retraced heavy. We would just have to wait to see if we get body of the candle to close back above, so that this can turn back into the support and demand zone, but it would have to be something like this, like and I wouldn't just go off of one single candle. I would maybe wait for formation of few of them, something like that, just to see that this is going to hold, and then we can look for potential volatility and volume and benefit off of impulsive move if it happens back to 1.2, because 1.2 got rejected wild, like this just tapped and see you later. Well, above 1.18700 would be great, because that means we would even close above this traffic right here, right? So it will show us that there's definitely more buyers interested in this pair. So that's a great level to go off of. If we see it start pushing through that, then yeah, definitely you can probably even do a buy stop at that level. But right now it's really like you're gambling with the entry here, because like it's literally into the key zone. Even this breakout, like remember the supply zone, it's a zone, right? Like this is zone. That's why it's like I see people try to claim that like one exact price level can serve as a valid resistance. Well, what if you get a false breakout, which essentially is the supply zone, but you have tight stop loss? Well, then what did you do resistance for? That's why I always write weekly resistance, supply zone, because zone can be sometimes 50 pips. This one is 25. So but anyway, yeah, I would definitely wait for the breakout and for that to confirm to look for the longs, because I am favoring actually move back towards 1.200 as my bias, but is it ready? It's not. It's not ready. No problem. You're very welcome. See, those are the small things that make a big difference, right? Difference between entering prematurely with 50-50 chance and with waiting and being more patient, getting the extra confirmation, and then increasing your odds 80-20 in your favor, right? it's about probability. There's no 100% prediction, but you want to put yourself in the best possible situation where you minimize your risk but increase your potential reward. That's really what it's about. So yeah. Do we have any other questions? Sounds good. Well, you have till Tuesday New York session. Any questions, just bring them. And if I'm not able to answer based on my experience, I will definitely find the answer, because like I have two mentors that are absolutely killing it in the industry, and if I'm not able to answer, I can ask them myself too, because then I can learn something too. So cool. All right, well, we'll conclude the session now. Thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate especially all of you that stay till the end. Definitely happy to see you guys. I hope you and your families are doing great. You guys are staying healthy. And I wish everybody a great trading week, and hopefully we will have a great results to talk about next weekend. And this is recorded, and I will upload it on a YouTube and share link. All right. So I'll talk to you guys later.